Hey, 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 welcome back. I hope everyone is enjoying the show so far. The show. This is not a show. This is the conference. Hope everyone's enjoying the conference so far. Sorry, it is extremely early in the morning for me. I live in Minnesota, so it is 1 o'clock here, not midnight. But this morning I want to talk about how to honor your loved one. So, I get people that come up to me quite often and they ask me, "Well, what do you do? How do I honor my loved one? How do I create something? How do I honor them?" And so I decided to come up with a few ways. These are nothing brand new. I'm nothing earth-shattering. I didn't create these. These are all out there. These are just my personal favorite ones that I have used to honor loved ones, to honor my daughter and my granddaughter. And so I want to share them with you. I hope that maybe it might help you to honor one of your loved ones. It might help you to share with someone who might be going through the grieving process to honor one of their loved ones. So, just recently this year, my mother, my daughter, my daughter-in-law, and myself, we started a business. It's called Papalina's, and it's healthy products for beauty and home. We do skincare line, we do laundry soap, we do bath soaks, we do different things like that. And we named it after my granddaughter because she absolutely loved the products. She absolutely loved what we were doing. So I would say number one, start a business or start a nonprofit. I don't know much about nonprofits. We didn't go that route. We just went ahead and started a business. But if you name it after your loved one, or if you take aspects that they loved in life and start a business with that, something that they truly loved, or a nonprofit, either one. Maybe it's a cause that they had passed away from, or maybe it was something that they absolutely love, like animals or shelters or something like that. That's truly a great way to honor your loved one, to let them know that, hey, this has meaning, this has substance, this has part of you in it and part of them as well. So I would also say number 2 is do public speaking. I'm doing some now to get the awareness out there for grieving because it's not really talked about, and I talk about grief alongside building a business. So my grief, I don't know, I'm not a stay-at-home mom. I'm not I mean, I am, but I also am building a business. So mine's a twofold. So I know about, like, the loss going into building a business as well, like, how shattering it is for someone to be able to build a business, but then also be dealing with grief in such a profound way.
that it can like, I literally burned my business to the ground. I didn't want it anymore. I had no use for it anymore. Nothing in life mattered at that point in time. So I decided to talk about it. I figured if I'm going through it, there must be other entrepreneurs, other women that are going through it as well. So I thought this might be a great opportunity for me to step up and talk about this and help other people that are grieving as well. So make sure that you incorporate public speaking if that is in your realm. It might not be, and that's okay. There's lots of other ways to honor your loved one as well. There's a memorial tattoo, or so if you're into tattoos, obviously. I'm not saying you go get a bunch of tattoos that you're not into, because that's just not going to be, you're going to hate them, and your loved one, it's not going to be significant for your loved one either. So we have one. My daughter and I went and got one for my other daughter that passed away in 16. So we got a memorial tattoo, and it's actually an audiogram. It actually plays, it has sound to it and everything. It is her laugh when she would open a birthday card at one point in time, and it was posted, and she had this magical laugh. And I wanted to capture that. I wanted to hear that laugh at any point in time. And now I don't even need to play the audiogram anymore. I can just hear the laugh. Not to mention, it was special for me and my other daughter to be able to go and get this tattoo together when she turned 18, because she was underage when her sister passed away. And so it was nice to be able to do that connection with her, to be able to have that moment with my other daughter as well, getting us, a tattoo that meant something to us and that we'll have forever. And people ask me about it all the time because they've never really seen an audiogram, like, and to know that it actually really plays is even cooler. So tattoos are a very, very fun way to memorialize your family member. You could also write a book. I've done this. I've written 2 books. They're not bestsellers, and I didn't design them to be either. I designed them to, um, get my story out there, to get it on paper, to go through the grieving process at that point. Again, I'm in business. So I shifted my business. Before, I was building sales pages and sales funnels and websites and design and all this stuff for businesses. And at that point, when my granddaughter passed away last year, I completely decided to change my focus again. I almost burned my business to the ground again, but I had the knowledge from back in 2016 when my daughter passed, and now it's 2021, my granddaughter's passed, and now it's like I have the knowledge from back then to now, and I decided I wasn't going to burn it down. I was just going to focus on going forward with talking about grief to be able to help someone going through grief. So I just wanted to change my focus rather than just like stop. I didn't want to stop everything again. And so I had a business coach at the time, and he's like, Faith, if you're going to go into grief, you have to write your story. Like, it is profound, which I believe everyone's story is profound. I believe everyone's got at least probably 4, 5, 6 books in them. And these are like real life books, nonfiction books. And so I wrote my story, and it was one of the best ways that I went through to help my grieving process, to be able to get those words out on paper, to be able to compose that story and those chapters, and to be able to talk about it and mention it and lead up to it, um, than I could have ever done without writing that book. Like, I don't believe that any amount of therapy or NDEs that I was listening to would have ever helped me process the grief and the emotional turmoil that I was going through up to that point. Because I talked about my father's death in there as well. So definitely write a book. Start with a couple chapters. Start with a few stories. That's all that I did, is I wrote stories down, stories that were powerful for me, that I remember going into it, stories that led up to my journey, led up to now, led up to this year. And it's a great way to honor your loved one is to write a story about them. And then it's in print forever. Even if you don't publish it, it's in print in your sphere, your world, on your computer. There's ways to go about printing it and doing one-off printings. There's so many different ways to do that. Number 5, make a donation. So whether that's to their favorite charity, maybe that's to their favorite nonprofit, maybe that's getting a grant or something, or putting their name on a grant for someone to help someone else. That's a great way to honor your loved one. You can also make it out in their name as well. So maybe it's a grant to their favorite charity in their name. Those are always great opportunities, great times. I can tell it's still super early in the morning because my words are starting to get jumbled. But make a donation. It can be simple, it can be easy, it can be just their favorite down to the shelter down the road if that's what they loved was animals. I know my granddaughter absolutely loved animals, and my daughter loved animals as well. So, number 6, create a scrapbook. These are always fun. You can incorporate the whole family into it. You can incorporate the children into it. You can incorporate their friends into it. So our daughter was 19 when she was killed in a car wreck, and her friends and stuff have brought by so many different memorabilia that we have created little keepsakes for, little keychains. I spoke earlier today or yesterday morning at the kickoff and about Christmas gifts and different things like that. So we do the bulbs and the ornaments and stuff like that every year. And so we've gotten to where we make these, I'm drawing a loss for words. They're the little clear things. You pour 'em, you create your own. And so we do those, and we've put ashes in them for a little memorial, different things like that. But you can do that with the scrapbook stuff too. So we had a memorial bear made for someone that for the funeral after they had made a huge donation. We did a memorial bear for them with her outfit and stuff that she wore for work for the company that she worked for. Little cool little things like that. Number 7, you can plan an annual get together. So every year we do a get together. We do a get together for our daughter. We do a get together for our granddaughter. We haven't started the one for the granddaughter yet, but we will. The daughter, we always get together on her birthday. We get together. So, fun fact about our situation. And so, if you're tuning in from the last session, they were talking about and I only caught a part of it, but it was a different family dynamic that they were having to navigate as a family. And it took them a while to navigate this as a family. So, our family is a blended family, my husband and I. And in 2005, I met my husband, and he had 2 children, and I had 3 children. And we blended our family. We don't have any like biologically together. So he's adopted the youngest one of mine. And so we have these 5 children now with us. And in 2016, his daughter was taken in a car wreck. She passed away in a car wreck. And when she passed away, it had always been where I would myself and his ex-wife, we would always make it okay for, like, events. We would get along. We made it okay to get along at the events. So we would share grad parties together. We would share, baby showers, if the kids were having babies, whatever. We made an effort to make sure that we could both be at these events. I know my biggest fear was that I did not want to have the kids to grow up and to have to choose who's going to be at what event and who's going to be at the other event, and then we'd have to have two events, all of these things. I didn't want that. I thought that that was completely crazy. I'm like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get along with her mom so that we have one event, because I don't want to miss out on any of this stuff. I'm not putting my blood, sweat, and tears into this to make them choose, to make the child choose who gets to come to this and who gets to come to that. I wanted us both to be able to go. So we have this unique family dynamic. And when she passed away in 16, her mom and stepfather, myself and my husband, and a set of grandparents, his grandparents and his parents and her parents, my husband's parents and his ex-wife's parents, we got together at the funeral home and we planned the funeral. There was no squibbling, there was no squabbling, there was nothing. We just simply sat in there. My husband and I decided we were not going to ever fight about money about this. If, we had a life insurance policy on her, thankfully, and we walked in and we decided that ourselves, we would pay for the whole funeral. No questions asked, no qualms, no nothing. And so I didn't want, and he didn't want, to have money be an issue and cause a rift between us and his ex-wife and her husband. We just decided we weren't going to do it. And so the funeral, all taken care of, no problem. And since then, we've been getting together every month with his ex-wife and her husband, and we have like these get-togethers every month. We actually play poker, and we do a potluck. So we all bring food. We rotate. There's 3 families that we rotate the party at, and we just come together every month as a group, as a family. We've even went on family vacations together with them. Last year we went. And I can tell you what, I know we're very fortunate, and we know that our relationship that we have with them would not be this way had she not passed away. We would still be friends. We would still make everything work. We would still be able to be in the same spaces and stuff with each other. We'd be cordial to each other, and we'd even plan events together. But it wouldn't be the way that it is now. It wouldn't be meeting them at their house or at our house every month. We wouldn't be doing events like that anymore. We wouldn't be going on vacation with them. We wouldn't be celebrating her daughter's graduation from college. We wouldn't be going over there and celebrating her other daughter's child. We wouldn't be doing those things. But with this blending of our family, with losing our daughter like that, we decided that this is where we needed to go. We decided that this made sense. It brought us closer together rather than tearing us apart, which is amazing. And so it's been beneficial for all the children involved, for everyone involved, which is amazing. And so every year we did an annual get together after Cassandra passed. And so this last year we did a gingerbread house decorating contest kind of thing. And so his ex-wife and came, had the grandkids there, everything. It was a lot of fun. And so we get together for these all the time. So plan an annual get together and invite people. Just let people come be a part of your life. Let people come be a part of you and celebrate that connection that they have as well with your loved one too. And dedicate a bench. Number 8, dedicate a bench. They have parks all over the place where you can dedicate a bench or a table or a brick or something along that nature. So when our daughter passed in 16, it was a huge event that happened here in the next town over where she lived. And so she worked at Taco Bell here in Minnesota, and when her memorial happened, The day of her memorial, Taco Bell came in and they wrote a blank check and they covered her whole funeral, and that's why we had a memorial bear created for Taco Bell, and it was with her Taco Bell uniform on. And so it was at that time also our other son, my son, worked for a place called Landscape Structures in Delano here, and they donated 3 benches. Like, these are amazing benches. They're all coated, there's no rust, there's, like, different colors. They did a specific plaque across the back with her name and her birth and death date on it, or I'm sorry, yeah, her name, birth, death date, and then her picture across it, and it was they donated 3 of them to us for our family, and it was just amazing to see that the people around us came together, amazing to see how much she had impacted the whole town at only 19 years old. And so we had people coming out left and right that were wanting to support us, wanting to be there for us, wanting to be included in everything, wanting to be a part of all of it. And so that bench was amazing, and we donated another bench. The third bench, we donated it. So just simple ways to go ahead and honor your loved one. It doesn't have to be anything profound, nothing earth-shattering. Um, it doesn't have to cost you anything either. Like, these are all free ways that you can do things. Some of them are, some of them aren't. But I'm gonna go over them one more time. So, 8 ways that I love to honor a loved one, and you can find your own as well. Like, you can change these up. These don't have to be concrete, but these are just 8 ways that I have found to honor your loved one, or to honor my loved one, I should say. And that's 1, start a business or a nonprofit. If you have that in you, if that's a drive for you, if you really want to impact and help people that are going through grief, or that have experienced the same circumstances, situations that you have with the loss of your loved one, then start a nonprofit or a business to honor them. 2, do public speaking, talk about it. Um, do informationals, talk about it. Do luncheons, talk about it. Go to your local church and start there and talk about it. They have grief sessions there that you can talk with people about as well. There's plenty of opportunity if you want to get involved in your community to be able to talk about your loved one, talk about how they passed, talk about the situation, if it was cancer or if it was a car wreck or whatever it was, if you can talk about it and talk about it. 3, a memorial tattoo. And if you don't want to get a tattoo, maybe pay for another family member to get a tattoo if that's something that you choose to do. Um, they're obviously it's my favorite, but that's me. These are things that I like, but you have to create your own set. You have to create your own ways to honor your own loved one. 4, write a book. One of the best ways to process your grief is to write a book. I can guarantee you it will be the hardest, but it will also be the most fulfilling. I know as I was sitting there writing my book, and I wrote it in my living room, and I would write, and my mom would come in the living room because my mom lives with us, and I'd be in there typing away, just typing away, and I'd have tears streaming down my face and just crying, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, are you okay?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm just writing." And then, like, a day or 2 later, whatever, she'd come in and I'd just be laughing hysterically. She'd be like, "Is this a good time? Like, am I interrupting anything?" I'm like, "No, I'm just writing, I'm just writing." So just know that that process will take you on a roller coaster ride, but it's almost like of the release of emotions. It's almost like a weight gets lifted off of you, and it feels amazing. Make a donation. Number 5, make a donation. Honor someone, honor your loved one. Honor a charity or a service or something that they loved and believed in. Give a donation, give it in their name. Or if you don't want to do money, You can also donate time. Time is the highest commodity out there. Like your time is the one thing that you will never, ever, ever get back. So that is the highest amount that you can ever do is by donating your time, volunteering. Um, Create a scrapbook. Number 6, create a scrapbook. Take their favorite articles of clothing, or take their favorite poems, or take their favorite pictures, or your favorite pictures of them, and create a scrapbook. Put it out on your coffee table so that people can see it, they can read it, they can touch it, they can feel it, they can be a part of it. Number 7, plan an annual get together. This could be a picnic in the park. This could be a barbecue. This could be a full blown shindig, like a block party downtown. This could be pretty much anything you wanted it to be. Just create it, create a theme, have people help you. Boom, done. Number 8, dedicate a bench or a brick or a block or a table or something. They have parks and stuff like that where you can donate a bunch of stuff to. Well, not a bunch, but you can donate a table. Um, a lot of times you're walking down these like the public parks and stuff, and they have this in memory of on the back of the booths on the back of the benches, and it says in memory of. So ours would say like in memory of Cassandra Sage, and it would have her birth and her death date and stuff like that. Those are cool little ways to honor your loved one as well. So, whatever ways that you choose, just make sure that they're unique to you. Make sure that they honor your loved one. Make sure that they make sense for you. Don't just take it because somebody tells you to, oh, this is the best way ever. Don't do that. Do one that honors you and honors them. And whether that's any of these, whether it's none of these, whether it's something you find completely different. And if you do, that's amazing. I'm super excited and I look forward to seeing the posts and stuff. I think it'd be amazing. And with that, I don't know if anybody's out. Anybody's got questions? I'm up. I'm ready. Oh, hi. I didn't even see all these. Oh my gosh. Hi, Joshua. Hi, Donna. That was a great concept. I like writing a book better. Yeah, writing a book, I'm telling you, that one there took me through the roller coaster of emotions. But when I got that book done, when that book was done, I felt on top of the world. I just published it this January, so I wrote it in probably about in 30 days. I wrote a book and published it. And so it was very quick. It was very stayed on top of everything. And then I liked the process so much, I went ahead and wrote a second book, and I have my third and fourth book ready to go. They're not ready to go in that sense. I have the outlines and stuff ready to go. I just need to write the little stories that are going to go in it because I have the front matter done and the back matter done. I just got to get the center matter done. But that's an amazing way. And tattoo, such a great tattoo. Yes, I didn't even know that they existed. And it took me a while to even get a tattoo because I wanted a memorial piece, but I didn't want just any old memorial piece. I wanted something that was specific to her, specific to us. And I just stumbled across I think they're called audio tattoos, audiogram tattoos. I just stumbled across it, and there's only specific people that do them because they have to meet specific guidelines so that you can actually. It's an app on your phone, and it'll scan it and it'll read it. But I found that it has to have really really good light to read it, otherwise it won't read it. But any more questions? These are great. I love it. Oh, you guys are thinking of that. I'm gonna take a sip. All right. Well, if there's no more questions, then I will bid you all good night. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for being a part of this and taking interest in all the things. Paying for a tattoo for somebody else is a great idea, but I don't do tattoos. Yes. Yeah, that's why you pay for someone else, because a lot of people don't. Like, my mom doesn't do tattoos, but she would pay for someone else to do it. My husband doesn't do tattoos, so, I mean, I get to get all his. But paying for someone else would be a great idea. Yeah, I think that's amazing. All right, guys. Hope you have a great time with this conference. I hope you're taking notes. I hope it's giving you some sort of um, I don't know, some sort of ideas on how to process grief, how to go through grief, um, how to navigate your journey on this grief, because your journey is it's definitely unique to you. It is absolutely no one else is going to go through it the way that you're going through it. So make sure that you're taking notes and are able to process through it. So with that, I will see you at noon tomorrow. So you guys have a great night. See you later.